BSc 10 Maths. This is my sister Tina Lovers. She teaches 8 Maths. Alright, now let's jump into the video.
Today we are going to be learning exercise 4.2 second question. Solve the problems given in example 1. So as you guys know, in example 1 we have two subdivisions, first subdivision and the second subdivision. Today we are going to be solving the second subdivision. Okay, already I had solved the first subdivision, you can watch that video. Okay, so we are going to be doing the same method how we did it in the first subdivision. Alright, now let's read the second subdivision. A cottage industry produces a certain number of toys in a day. The cost of production of each toy in rupees was found to be 55 minus the number of toys produced in a day. On a particular day, the total cost of production was rupees 750. We would like to find out the number of toys produced on that day. So this is the question. So there is a cottage industry. Of course, you guys know what is a cottage industry. So they are just producing lot of toys. Okay, of course, cottage industry, they usually does like that work. Am I right? So they are just producing lot of toys, number of toys in a day. So per day they are just producing number of toys. Okay. So the cost of production of each toy, each means one. The cost of production of one toy in rupees was found to be 55 minus the number of toys. Okay, so here this one is really important. So 55 minus the number of toys, this is really important. And then here this each toy is also really important. Okay, okay. So here as you guys can see, when we just look at the question, here usually they are mentioning number of toys, am I right? But we don't know the value for number of toys. So in this question they are just saying that there is a cottage industry which is producing number of toys. But they didn't just mention that how many toys they are producing. They just told that number of toys. So first of all, we don't know the value for number of toys. Am I right? So they didn't just mention any value in the question. So we are going to be taking, let the number of toys produced be x. Okay, so we are going to be taking the number of toys, that means let the number of toys be x. Okay, I am going to be taking let the number of toys be x. Okay, of course here we don't know the number of toys value, so we are going to be taking it as x. So as you guys know, I took let the number of toys be x. Okay, so if you guys want to write let the number of toys produced be x also, you can just write it like this. Okay, so I just wrote it like this. So the number of toys is x. Okay, so as you guys know the number of toys is x, what about each toy? So after this statement we have the cost of production of each toy. So here each means 1, am I right? So we know the number of toys now, that is x, but we don't know one toy, am I right? So what we are going to do is, we are going to be writing the cost of production of each toy. So let me just write the cost of production of each toy means one toy only, no? So let us write one toy. Okay, so one toy. So what is the cost of production of one toy? So here as you guys know, the cost of production of one toy was found to be 55 minus the number of toys. So here we have 55. Okay, so we shall write the 55 as it is. So 55 minus, so we are supposed to minus it, subtract it, the number of toys. So what is the number of toys? We took the number of toys as x, so we can just write x. Okay, so we just wrote it according to the statement. So here it was 55 minus, okay, 55 minus the number of toys. So the number of toys we took it as x, so x. Okay, so now we got 55 minus x, am I right? So here now what I am going to do is I am going to be multiplying x into 55 minus x. Okay, so I am going to be multiplying x into 55 minus x. Okay, so here you guys might be wondering how am I multiplying x into 55 minus 6. So how means, so let me just explain it with an example. Okay, so you're just going to a store, so there you're just purchasing 5 balls. Okay, so you're just purchasing 5 balls. So let me just write it darkly. So you're just purchasing 5 balls. Okay, so this is 5, so they are just purchasing 5 balls. In these 5 balls, one ball costs 100 rupees. Okay, so one ball costs 100 rupees. So as you guys know, one ball costs 100 rupees. Okay, so one ball costs 100 rupees. So let me just rupees. Okay, so as you guys know, one ball costs 100 rupees. What about 5 balls? So we want to know how much does it cost if we buy 5 balls. For that, what we just do is we just multiply 100 into 5. Am I right? Why? Because we want to know how much does it cost to buy 5 balls. Okay, so one ball is 100 rupees. Alright, then when we just multiply 100 rupees into 5 means we'll get to know how much should we pay for them. Am I right? How much money should we pay for them? So we are supposed to pay 500 rupees. Am I right? So we are supposed to pay 500 rupees. Why? Because totally there are 5 balls. So in that, one ball is costing 100 rupees. So if we want to know how much does it cost to buy 5 balls, we just multiply them. Am I right? So that is 100 into 5. So when we just multiply it, we get 500. Likewise, here we know the total number of toys. So the total number of toys, we just took it as x. And the cost of production of one toy. So here it is cost. Okay, so the cost of one toy is 55 minus x. So when we just multiply only, we'll get to know how much cost does it take. Am I right? So likewise, we are going to be doing the same thing. So now it's really easy. Am I right? So now let's come back to the question. So here we just did 55 minus x produced in a day, and after that, on a particular day, the total cost of production was 750 rupees. So here when we just multiply x, we shall just multiply x into 55 minus x. Okay, so the total cost of production was 750 rupees. 750. So we can just write is equal to 750. Okay, why? Because here the total cost of production, it is 750. That's why it is 750. Okay, so now we shall multiply x into 55 minus x. All right. You guys might be wondering, why did I explain it like this? Okay, but in the first subdivision of this particular second question, I mean in the example 1, so in that I didn't just explain it. Why? Because in that question they just mentioned the product. Product means multiplication. Of course we should multiply it. But in this question they didn't just mention the product. Okay, but we should just think it logically. When we just think it logically like this examples, then we can just solve it. Okay, so when we just multiply only, we'll get the total number of toys. I mean the cost of total number of toys. Am I right? So that's why we just multiplied x into 55 minus x. So if you guys might be wondering how come this example is so difficult and complicated, if you guys are wondering like that, okay, so you can just watch the video again. Okay, so it will be, so first time when you just watch the video, it will be a little bit difficult to understand, but when you just think it over and over again and again, then you can just understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you can just think about this example again and again. It will be very helpful for the statement based questions. Okay, so I hope you guys understood this. So now let us move ahead. Okay, so first we are going to be multiplying this values. Okay, so now we are going to be multiplying these values. So how means, of course in the exercise 4.1 in the first question, how we did like that we are going to be doing. Okay, so first we are going to be multiplying this x with 55 and this x with minus x. Alright, so simple. So we are going to be multiplying x with 55 and minus x. Why? Because here it is in the bracket. Alright, now let us multiply it. Okay, so first of all let us multiply x into 55. So x into 55 is 55 x. Alright, so x into x is x into x is x square, and plus into minus is minus, am I right? So it is minus x square. So x into x is x square and plus into minus is minus. We just multiply the signs too since it is in the bracket, okay, and then is equal to 750. So now let us write 55x as it is and minus x square as it is, and I am going to be getting this 750 to the left side. So when I get it to the left side, it changes into minus 750 and then is equal to 0 as it, okay, we can just write it like that. So now here, as you guys can see, here the terms are kind of different, am I right? So first we should have the x square term, so we shall write the minus x square term at first, and then we should write the 55x in order wise, okay, and then at last we should write the constant term is equal to 0. But here when you just look at it, here we have minus sign at first. So of course you guys know in the quadratic equation we should not have the minus sign at first, am I right? So we are going to be taking minus as common, okay. So of course we are going to be taking minus as common, and whatever we are going to be writing now, we are going to be just multiplying the signs and we are going to be doing it, okay. So of course when we just take a number as common, of course you guys know how it is, how will we take it. So when we just take the number as common, we just multiply with the number in which you should get the above values. But here we are going to be multiplying with the sign, that is a minus sign, but we should get the above values, okay. So no matter what. So first of all, so here most probably we are going to be focusing on signs, not the values, okay. So here we have minus sign at first, am I right? Already we have minus sign behind the after the bracket. So what we are going to do is we are going to be writing minus into plus. So we can just write the x square as it is. Why? Because minus into plus is minus, so it is minus x square. We got the above value, that is minus x square, okay. So next one we have plus 55x. So already we have minus sign at first, so we are going to be taking minus 55x, okay. Why? Because minus into plus, sorry, minus into minus is only plus, am I right? So we got plus 55x, so we got the above value, that is plus 55x. So minus into minus is plus. Now we have minus 750, okay. So we are supposed to get minus 750. For that already we have minus sign right over here, so we are going to be writing plus 750. Why? Because minus into plus is minus, so we are supposed to multiply the values, okay, I mean the signs especially. So we just multiply the signs and we got the above values. So here minus into plus is minus x square, minus into minus is plus 55x, and minus into plus is minus 750, and then is equal to 0. Alright. So now since here we have minus, so you guys might be wondering what about the minus sign, what are we going to do with the minus sign. So we when we just take these values off from the bracket, apart from the bracket, we no need to write this minus sign, okay. So that is the rule. So we just took it off from the bracket, so we can just write the values as it is inside the brackets, whatever values we have, okay. So we just wrote it as it is. So now, so we are going to be doing the old method, I mean in first question in this exercise we just did not like that, we are going to be doing it. It's really simple, am I right? So we are supposed to multiply the first term into the last term, okay. Now let us do that. So as you guys know, we are going to be doing the old methods, am I right? So first we just multiply the first term with the last term. So now let us write the a value, b value and the c value. So let us write, so a is equal to, what is the a value? So here the coefficient is 1, that is the a value, and b value, so here the coefficient is minus 55, comma c value, so here the c value is 750, so we can just write the 750 as it is. So now we are going to be multiplying the first one with the last one. When we just multiply 1 into 750, we get 750. Alright. So now we are going to be finding the factors of 750. So you guys might be wondering, this number is so big, so we can't just find the factors. So don't worry. So we are going to be finding the factors with the method. So of course this is common to you guys. So like this we are going to be finding. Okay, so first we are going to be using the second table. Why? Because we are supposed to go it in the order wise. Am I right? So let us do it with the second table. So we don't get 7 in second table, but we get 6. So 3 2s are 6, 1 remain. So we have 15 right over here. We don't get 15 in second table. We can take the smallest compared to 15, that is 7 2s are 14, 1 remaining. So now we have 10. Okay, so 5 2s are 10. So now we have 3 7 5. We can't just do this with the second table, but we can just try it with the third table. Okay, so 1 3 is 3 and 3 2s are 6, 1 remaining. 15, we have 15. So we get 15 in 3 table, that is 5 3s are 15. So now we have 125. Am I right? So we won't get this number in 3 table, so we can just use 5 table. Okay, so when you just look at it only, you should understand. So we get 12 in 3 table, but we won't get 5 in 3 table, like that you should understand. So we are going to be using 5 table. Okay, so 5 2s are 10. So here we have 12, so we took 5 2s are 10, so 2 remaining, so it is 25. So 5 5s are 25. So here we have 25 right now. So of course we get 25 in 5 table, so we can just use 5 table. So 5 5s are 25 and we get 5 in 5 table, so 1 5 is 5. So finally we just did the factors. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to be multiplying 2 into 3 into 5, and we are going to be multiplying 5 into 5. Okay, so we are supposed to do it like this, then only it will be then only we can just find the factors of 750. So when we of course we just found the factors of 750, but here one more thing we are supposed to do. Am I right? So when we just multiply two numbers, we should get 750, but when we just add or subtract that particular factors, we should get minus 55, that is a middle number. Okay, so this is really important. Okay, so I forgot to say this. Why? Because we had already solved lot of things like that, I mean the problems similar to this one, that's why I didn't just say that. Okay, so remember, when we just find the factors of 750, we just found it, and then now what we are going to do is, we are going to be adding or subtracting the factors, so that we should get minus 55, that is the middle number. So here the minus 55, this is the middle number, we should get it. Alright, so when we just multiply 5 into 3 into 2, we get 30. Am I right? So let us write 30, and 5 into 5 is 25. So now when we just multiply 30 into 25, we get 750. Am I right? But when we just add or subtract, we should get minus 55. Okay, so we should get the sign also, that is the important thing. Okay, so now let us check it out whether we are getting minus 55 or not. For that we shall just add 30 plus 25. So when we just add 30 plus 25, we get 55, but here according to this equation we should get minus 55. Am I right? So minus 55. So we are going to be subtracting 30 minus 25. So like this means we can just add also. Am I right? Why? Because minus and minus is plus. So when we just add it, we get 55. Here the greatest number is 30, which is minus sign. So we shall just put the minus sign. So we got minus 55. Am I right? So likewise we are supposed to find the factors, and then we can just find the middle term also. Here the middle term is minus 55. So likewise here also we get the minus 55. Okay. So now let us do it. So since we got minus 55, what we are going to do is, instead of minus 55, we are going to be writing minus 30 minus 25. Okay. So that is the reason we did it. Okay. So since you guys know minus 30 minus 25 is minus 55. Alright. So now let us solve it. So first of all, here we can just write the x square as it is. As you guys know, I just took x square as it is. So instead of minus 55x, so instead of minus 55, I am going to be writing these two values. Okay. So here, what about the variable? So here we have x variable. So this x variable belongs to 30 as well as 25. I mean the minus 30 as well as minus 25. Okay, so now let us write them. So first let us write minus 25, and here this x belongs to this 25 as well, and then we can write minus 30. Okay, so here also that x this x belongs to 30 as well. Okay, so plus 750 is equal to 0. So here I would like to say something. Okay, so you guys might be wondering, why didn't I write 30 first and then we can just go on with 25? Why didn't I do that? Why? Because when we just write the smallest, I mean here when we just solve it, no, at last whatever values we get, no, I'll write that number first. Here the last value in these both, this is the last value, am I right? So I just wrote the 25 at first, then it will be easy for us to solve it. Okay, and the answer will be perfect. We will get the correct answer. Otherwise we won't get the correct answer. Okay, why? Because when we just take it as common, that time it will be complicated for us. Okay, so if you guys want to take minus 30 at first, you can just take it, but you should just check it whether you are getting the proper answer or not. Okay, so if you are getting the proper answer, of course, but most probably you will not get the proper answer. Okay, correct answer. Why? Because that is the rule. So we are supposed to write this 25 at first, then we will get the proper answer. Okay, so note down that. Okay, so most of the guys might be wondering how. So we are supposed to write the value which we get right over here. Okay, so we are supposed to write this 25 at first. So I wrote the 25 at first. Okay, so I just wrote the 25 at first. Alright, so now we got an equation. So now we are going to be taking the common value. So here, which is the common value? Sorry, first of all, now let us take it as pair. So now we are going to be finding the common value of x square minus 25x. So in these values we get x as common. Okay, so x is common. So when we just take x outside, I mean x is common, we are supposed to multiply with a variable or number, but we should get the above values. Okay, so now let us multiply x with x. When we just multiply x with x, we get x square, and here we have minus 25x. So already we have x outside, so what we can just do is we can just write minus 25. Why? Because x into minus 25 is minus 25x. Okay, alright, then close the bracket. So here, which is the common number? So here first of all we have minus, here we have plus. So now we can just write the minus as it is, and then 30 also we can just take it as common outside, then it will be easy for us to solve it. Okay, and then bracket. So we are supposed to add or subtract or multiply with a value or variable, whatever it is, but we should get the above value. Okay, this is the point in this. Okay, so whatever we do, whatever things or whatever numbers we do, we should get the above value. That's all. Okay, of course you guys know it is really easy. So minus 30 into x is minus 30x. Okay, so now we have 30 outside, minus 30 outside, am I right? So minus 30 into plus 25 is, I'm sorry, here it is minus 25. So minus 30 into minus 25 is plus 750. Here I got little bit confused. Why? Because minus into minus is plus, am I right? So we should get the above value. Here it is plus 750. So when we just do minus into minus, we get plus. So 30 into 25 is 750, and then is equal to 0. Okay, don't get confused here. Okay, so now we can just take the common value. So here we have the similar value, am I right? That is x minus 25. So we can just take the x minus 25 out right over here, 25 in bracket of course, comma, and then remaining we have x and minus 35. So we can just take this x minus 35 as it is, of course in bracket, and is equal to 0. So x minus 25, so I just took it off from the bracket, then it is x minus 25 is equal to 0. Here also x minus 30 is equal to 0. So x is equal to, when we get this minus 25 to the right side, it changes into plus 25. So when we get this minus 30 to the right side, it changes into plus 30. Okay, so now we got the x value. So since we got the x value, we got to know the x value, no? So finally we just solved this equation. All right. So here, since you guys know, we got x value was 25 and another x value was 30, we got to know the number of toys. So you guys might be wondering what number of toys. So let me just show that. So according to the question, they just told that find out. So we are supposed to find out the number of toys produced on that day. Okay, so on that particular day we are supposed to find the number of toys. So we just found it. Why? Because we got the x value, one as 25, another x value we just got it as 30. Am I right? So since we got the x value is 25 and another x value is 30, so the number of toys produced on that day either be 25 or 30. Okay, now let's write that. So finally I just wrote, since the number of toys produced on that day, okay, so it's day, so here we'll get day, okay, on that day be either 25 or 30. So according to the question we just proved it. Am I right? So the number of toys produced on that day be either x or 30. Okay, so this is the final answer.
Thank you for watching this video. Please like this video, share it to your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any doubt, you can comment me in the comment section. You can find my videos in the playlist. You can also find my sister Tina's videos